welcome back. I'm Lisa. Welcome to Junk Journal Gems. I appreciate those of you who have joined me again, and I appreciate also those of you who are joining for the first time. I pulled out this bin that I keep of tags, pockets, and different bits of ephemera that I've made. And this first section here are all tags that I started, or bases of tags that frankly many of them have just been sitting in here, and what I'm finding myself doing is everything from here to the back are completed pieces, and I tend to pull from that. So I thought I would just work on some of these pieces that have been started or not started. Like I said, some of them are just bases, but I thought I'd bring you along so that you could join me in finishing some pieces up. So what I thought I'd do to make myself go through these things and use them is, without going through and hand picking things, I'm just gonna pluck out a piece without looking and force myself to finish it. So that's the fun that we're gonna do today. So I'm looking it away and I'm pulling out a tall tag. This can also be used as a bookmark, but I think what I will do is I do tend to use them more if they're smaller pieces. So sometimes what I do, reaching for my cutter, is just cut it down so it's smaller. And this was first made from a masterboard. So now we've got two pieces almost the same size. Wow, I couldn't have eyeballed that closer if I tried. So hopefully I didn't wiggle you too much. We're gonna go through and see what we can use to finish. I've got all kinds of things around me. Let's see. One thing that I noticed that I have that I haven't really used much are these bows made out of pieces of sari, pieces of velvet ribbon. I've got some chiffon ones in here, just little bits of stuff that I have. And what else? I've got buttons by me. I've got all kinds of stuff. So let's just see. I also pulled out, for whatever reason, I haven't been using birds a lot lately, and I'm trying to get myself to use them a bit more. So let's see what I find for a bird. And this little guy just practically jumped out of there at me. I think he'd be a good match for that. And what else can I find in here? There are these too, but not feeling that so much. Too bad this little guy's so big, because he's awful cute. I'd have to cut his tail off. I don't know how I feel about that, but I always have a hard time doing that. I don't know why. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I hope you're all having a good day. I'm filming on Sunday. It's an absolutely gorgeous day out. You know what, you guys, I'm just going to cut it off and be happy with it. But it's an absolutely gorgeous day outside today, and it just, I don't know, when it's such a beautiful fall day like this and it's still warm enough to wear shorts outside, it just makes me happy. Makes me all kinds of happy. So how do I feel about putting something like this on here? It could go like at the top, but then it covers up our little friend. Another thing we could do is put him up over the top of the tails of the bow. And that might be kind of cute. Feeling like I also want a tag or something. Yeah, let's see. I mean a label. Did I say tag? What I meant, not what I said. And one that I had in mind, if I have any little ones, which I might not. Well, phoo, I don't. If I cut that down, that might be cute on there. see what else we find. If this is on there like Sue and our little bird friend, perches here. And that's there. That might be all that needs. So let's do that. I think I'm going to ink around it. Yeah, one night in front of the television, I pulled out a bunch of ribbon and sari scraps and just made a bunch of bows with it, so I had them at the ready. Oh. I haven't crafted for several days now, and I was kind of having crafting withdrawals. I'm going to do the back of this one while I'm at it. Since I've got it out, I don't know that I'll... I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I... I'll ink this little guy too, I guess. If you can't decide, maybe just do it. Yeah, that's good. This weekend has flown by, though, for me. Yesterday was a bit of a wasted day. I had a headache, but bless my husband's heart, he went through the house and cleaned like there was no tomorrow. Thank goodness, because I was not up for the task. Wasn't feeling it. So let's get the Fabri-Tac out. On. There we go. Okay, while that's doing that, I'm just going to lightly kind of almost pleat it up a little bit. You'll see what I mean here. Like this. Basically bunching it up. But then I'll leave, let's see, yeah, I'll leave that part. Perfect. Okay, let's do a little bit on this one too. There we go. Oh, that's cute. I like that. Okay. Yeah, it's in the very low 70s here today. It couldn't be a more perfect day. If fall could be like this every day, I would love it more. But it's not. We'll get the icky fall days here. But yeah, if they could be like this. Now that football's back on, all the guys are in football mode again. There, and just like that, we've got a really simple little quick, cute tag. I like it with that on. Why haven't I tried that before, you guys? I like that very much. Maybe I'll put this one on here. Let's just do it. Where did that scrap bit go? Oh, it stuck to the stuck to the scissors. That's what I get for always cutting things with wet glue on it. And my scissors get gluey. That's what I get. Whoops, sitting here with my glue open. I'm kind of mumbling, aren't I? Goodness. Knock it off, Lisa. This little bird. And I wonder about... I had an idea, but I don't know that I have the right thing to pull off my idea. So let's see, and then I'll show you. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to explain. These might work well. Feeling like it's a little too large for what I have in mind. Do I have another one of these? I do. I want to use these little labels as a tab, but it's got this little funky thing on the bottom I'm going to cut off. Just make sure they're even together. And they are, except over here. I take that back. Take it back. I fibbed. Oh, there we go. I'm going to ink around these two. Oh, goodness me. That was stuck in there good. Put that on first, so I can see where it is on the tag and I don't go up with the other items too high. There. And then our little bird friend. And the label can go here. I feel like he needs a little more. And I feel like what he needs is either string, or I have these little offcuts that maybe I can use on the bottom to make it look like he's in a nest. I think I'm going to try that. These are just from when I cut apart a doily or something. Oh, did you hear my dog? She's sleeping, and I guess she's talking in her sleep. Caught her in my craft room again, trying to pull books off the shelf. I don't know what I'm going to do with her. She's been a little naughty lately. I get a fair amount of light in my craft room, so during the day, I like to keep the windows or the doors open. I have French doors to my craft room, and I like to keep the doors open so the light floods into the hallway, but now I have to keep my doors shut because she's been sneaking in here for naughty business. Which means we don't get to enjoy the light that comes from this room. I don't know, I just don't get why she's been doing that. Never has chewed on things ever before. That one's a little big. I'm gonna grab a littler one. Maybe go like that. Here we go. There, it's like he's in a nest. I like that. See, you can use all your little bits. You never know when a little bit's gonna come in handy. All right, I'm doing a blind pick again. I'm gonna dig around a little bit more this time. I gotta make sure I'm in the right area. That's the one I grabbed this time. I think I'm gonna make it like that. Maybe. I saw these in there. Do I want to frame that out? I might. Let's just see what it'll look like. Can't do any harm. What did I do with my cutter? Oh. Just cut it down. See what that gives us. I like how it goes with that color there. So maybe what I can do is find a coordinating piece to go off that side. That might be nice. How big do I want it? This is off some Tim Holtz cardstock. Just out of my little scrappy bin. Yeah, and then I think if we ink it with somewhere I have some sage green. Or bundled sage. Gotta find the right inker thing, my green inker. There it is. Bundled sage distress ink. This one is just barely hanging onto the pad. And that's all that one will need. It's upside down. It needs to be right side up. Except we'll need a little tab for it. Let's see. Wondering what kind of tab I should do with this one. There, I like that. Now for a tab. That's kind of fun. Let's do that one. Put an ink around this one. There. See, now I'll just be more apt to use them. I actually thought when I first made them that I would decorate them as I went, but I'm finding that I'm just not using them that way. So we'll try this. There. Couldn't handle the glue glob. Making another dip into the... Oh, I'm grabbing the same ones. Okay. I'm going into a different area. Oh, this is cool. I remember doing this. I think I'll leave the back cardboard. I kind of like it like that. I'll do this one this way. What do I want to put on this one? I haven't had my Tim Holtz people out in a very long time. I really haven't been using them much. These gals are adorable. And what do I want to put behind these lovely ladies? Maybe. Nope. What do I want to put? Here's some tickets. Not really feeling that. I'm being picky, aren't I? Here's this container of miscellaneous ephemera that I dip into from time to time. Now, it should go. I created a new, now I can't find it, cigar band container. I'm going to put that in it. What else would go with these gals? There. I'm going to ink around these two. Chums. Don't they look like they're best of friends? Or maybe they're sisters. They look like they could be sisters. Just getting rid of the white edges. Try to do that without bending their legs. Okay. Whoops. All right. And I'm kind of feeling like I need, one more thing. But maybe that one more thing could be, let's check these out to see if there's something I can use as a tab. Or do I just want, no, it's too big. Do I have a, yep. It's the old, is it right side up or upside down question. I don't know that that's doing it for me. Struggling. How come? It's too tall. It's the Goldilocks effect. That kind of goes with the yellow and that. I like that. Let's just do that. Okay. Let's get these ladies down. Whoops. And then let's put this down. put it so it's half up, half down. Come on. Cooperate. There, and I'll set this aside to dry. But before I do that, I'm going to ink it. That turned out cute too. Like it. All right, we're cooking with Pam here. I'm gonna dip in again. See what I find this time. Oh, whatever it is, I can't get it out. Oh, okay, I did these a while back and I think I might have done it with you guys on camera. I don't remember for sure. It doesn't need a lot. It doesn't need much at all. Let's go back to the Tim Holtz people. Oh, look at this. They're kind of perfect on there. And I think that's all that needs. Unless if I put on some kind of a label. The other, no. No. Could do something like that too, but no. No, I don't. I kind of like it just like this so that flower shows. Wow. That's all that one took. I'm gonna ink this first. Oh, I guess we should back it, huh? Wow, good thing I looked. Let's see. We need a scrap. Let's see if I have a decent scrap in here. I don't think I'm gonna have anything big enough. Oh, so close, but not. Nope. No, this is my medium scraps. I need to get a bigger one. Okay, hold on. This would be cute on the back. Let's do that. I'm going to cut off this edge first. Let's see. Just going to cut around it to make it easier to work with. Wow, I'm so glad I looked. having difficulty cutting it straight. Haven't even been drinking. I don't even drink. One of the pitfalls of being a migrainer, doesn't pay to drink. Okay, let's get our people on here. Take care of the white edges again. If they don't bother you, don't worry about doing what I just did. There. And I think I'll leave it as a journaling card, not put any kind of tab on it. If I change my mind later, I can always put one on, but I'm liking this one as a journaling card. And there we go. We got another one. Should have just done that right away with that one. Dipping in again. What am I feeling? Oh. Forgot I had these in the front. These are these embossed book pages that I did. I'm thinking here. Let's back this with some cardstock first. And I know, well, I do have this to back it with. But I'm feeling like I want something that is more easily written on. Oops, that's not going to cut it. I'm going to have to grab for one. Hold on. Okay, we can use I'm thinking this part, and that will work out nicely, I think. We'll just put it right like that. Perfect. I had so much fun embossing and inking these book pages. That was a fun activity. Just smatter it around a little bit here so I'm sure that it's all adhered well. Okay. There, and I think we did pretty good. this one into a giant tag. Sometimes a giant tag is fun too. Just feeling it needed the corners rounded. Okay, and then I'm going to round these. Let's see how this works. Oh, it worked. Sometimes my punch is a little fussy. Good, it worked. Now, what to put on it? That is a good question. I have some of these flowers. That might be pretty. Or, I'm not completely sold on that one. Woo! Looking in my ephemera. Having an avalanche. I don't know that these will be big enough. No. Too small. What do you think of that? This just calls for something big. Calls for a big moment. No. No. That wasn't the right big moment. What if we get out a picture? Ooh, here we go. This is going to be it. Yep. These are pictures that I printed on copy paper, and then I used the beeswax. So then what's cool about this is I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I can see the book page through it. And then what I think I will do is to sew it on. And then on top, maybe... But do I want it lumpy? I know. Hold on. Put some of this tatting along the bottom and the top maybe? Yep. So I'll sew it down and then I'll glue this tatting on it. But then for a tab, maybe I want a piece of lace up there. Oh, that's so pretty. Let's do that. So what I'm going to do here on the end that I just snipped off is get my fray check. If you ever work with lace trims or even fabric, having fray check is just something really good to have on hand. It does clog up if you don't use it for a while. So then I just take a pin and shove it through the hole. And now it should come out. Once it starts flowing, it really comes out. It's very liquidy. It's almost like it reminds me of sewing machine oil. Yep, here it comes. So you gotta kind of move quickly, but it does stop things from fraying, and it's just a good product to have on hand. Okay, so after I sew it, I will also glue that on. So I'll do that off camera later. But this then, I'll just put that there, just gives you an idea of just some different ways that you can finish off some tags really quickly and easily, and just have a little crafting playtime and have a little fun. Thank you so much for joining me. Click thumbs up to like and hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, so you can continue to follow along with Junk Journal Gems videos. Thank you. Have a great day.